Well, here's the next part in the series. Let me show you what I did here. I took this turkey wing that I received from a Native American friend of mine over on the Oneida Indian Reservation. I talked to you guys last time about the primaries and the secondaries. I took 3 primary feathers out of this, and I took the feather, laid it on here, and then I took a razor knife and I split it. Once I got it split out, the feather that I wanted, then I took it down here to this rock and I grinded it so that you grind the pithiness down on the quill down to where it's real flat, and it'll lay on the arrow shaft real smooth. Then I took some of this white-tailed deer back sinew and I stripped it down into fibers, thin fibers like that. I wet it with my mouth, and then I used some Knox gelatin, which is food grade hide glue. Put the Knox directly into the mouth with the sinew and chew the sinew. Then you take the sinew out of your mouth and you wrap the fronts of the feathers first, like you can see I've done here. Then I wrap the back of the feather. Then I take sinew and I wrap it through the center. You see where I went through the center? What that does is it holds the feathers down tight to the shaft. And now I have a good helical twist. And this is a river cane arrow, but it does not have its arrowhead or its foreshaft on it. The next step is going to be taking this arrowhead and putting it on a foreshaft, again with pine pitch and sinew. Now here I have a piece of hickory that I harvested while I was in the Tennessee mountains. This area from about here to here is nice and flat, so I'm going to use this area. I'm going to cut off down here somewhere to get rid of that weird looking end, and then I'm going to carve a nice line to put my arrowhead in, my obsidian arrowhead. So I'm going to haft it to that. Then I'm going to shave it, scrape it down to where it's much smaller than that, because you can see the diameter. I want the foreshaft to actually be smaller than the river cane. Once I've got the foreshaft worked down to the proper size and I put the arrowhead in it, then I've got to fit the other end of it down here into this cane arrow. And what I end up with is about a 36-inch long arrow. I like my river cane arrows to be a bit longer than a regular arrow. The reason being is spine. You don't have to worry about spine as much if you have a longer arrow. Also, I am very generous with my feather. I do not use a short, small feather. Like as you can see, here's a store-bought arrow. And I'll show you the difference between the feathers. See the difference? That helps my arrow flight tremendously. Because, you know, the feathers help stabilize it. So, you know, this is primitive archery. I don't want a big giant feather that slows my arrow flight down, but at the same time, I cannot have a tiny feather. It just will not fly my arrow properly. And my 3-year-old doesn't like me because I wouldn't let him run out in the street and get hit by a car. So anyway, I'm going to work on this. I lost my camera woman. So for right now, I'm going to do stuff and then come back on and show you what I've done. I'll make this part 3 to the series. And hopefully part 4 will be more in depth and you can actually watch me do the stuff. But part 4 will have me scraping this foreshaft down. Hold on, buddy. And inserting the arrowhead that I pre-made. And putting the foreshaft into the river cane arrow. And we will have a complete hunting arrow ready to go shoot a white-tailed deer up here in Wisconsin. I'm Jesse Rush with Flinga Bows, and make sure you look for part 4. Peace.